please join me in welcoming NRECA CEO Jim Matheson to the stage.
Well, thank you. Man, welcome to San Antonio and welcome to PowerXchange. There is so much going on here. I see so many leaders sharing your expertise and your experiences. That is what our biggest event of the year is all about. And I gotta say, it's great to be here in Texas. The state is home to the most electric cooperatives in the country, and this state has a very significant role in our program's history. A couple of years ago, I visited San Antonio with my family. We traveled to Johnson City to see the boyhood home of Lyndon Johnson. It's a very small house which had no electricity, and yet someone who was born in such impoverished circumstances grew up to be President of the United States. And the character of young Lyndon Johnson was forged in that humble setting. He became a school teacher, and at 29 years old, he was elected to Congress. And as a congressman, he walked his district from farm to farm, asking for contributions of $5 to join what is now Pedernales Electric Cooperative. In Washington, he learned the Rural Electrification Administration had denied Pedernales a $1.8 million loan because the project didn't have 3 families per mile. The area's poverty raised doubts that the loan could be repaid. So Lyndon Johnson went to the White House and he convinced President Roosevelt to order the REA to issue the loan. And the loan was issued, and the lights came on in the hill country of Texas. And today, Pedernales is the largest electric cooperative in America. It's a great story about advocacy, the exact same advocacy that we do today. You know, years later, reflecting on a long life of public service as a school teacher, congressman, senator, and president of the United States, Lyndon Johnson said this about his work to form the co-op that would electrify the hill country. He said, "I think of all the things I've ever done, nothing has ever given me as much satisfaction." So that's one reason why it means a lot to me to be here for this meeting. Whatever this week means to you, being inspired, learning, or building stronger relationships, whatever this week means to you, I hope you know how important it is to me that NREC is a partner in your success at your co-op. Infrastructure, broadband, safety, supply chain, workforce. We work together in so many ways. NRECA is all about providing solutions and delivering them with service excellence. And let's be upfront about the fact that there are a lot of challenges in the energy industry, challenges in the economy, and challenges in our politics. And they all intersect in your community at your electric cooperative. My focus is on helping co-ops be more effective, connecting you to resources, and telling the story about the leadership that you provide. That's how we continue to succeed in a complex, changing, and exciting world with a cooperative business model that works. It's how co-ops keep the lights on. It's how you keep the lights on. It's a goal we share, because when I think about how co-ops keep the lights on, it's not just about service to your members at the end of the line. It's not just about electricity. It's about the co-op part of keeping the lights on. It's about a stable, trusted, member-owned, community-based, responsive electric cooperative that people count on to do its job well and to keep doing it long into the future. Written in that objective are 7 cooperative principles: open membership, strong governance, autonomy and independence, local control, member participation, cooperation, and community. And you know this, these are the principles of the foundation of every electric cooperative. Electric is our business, but cooperative is our identity. It's who we are, and it's how we do this important job for our community. That word, cooperative, it sets a standard and it sets an expectation. We live these principles in our co-ops. They're a powerful guide for the work that we do. they matter in the conversations we have. Conversations about how we serve electricity, but more important, how we serve others. Being cooperative makes us instantly accountable. That word makes us public servants. It binds all of our reputations together. And it calls on all of us to do the right thing. You know, when someone hears we represent cooperatives, when we employ that reputation, whether it's in the coffee shop or in the halls of Congress, it means you can count on us. You can rely on us. We take our responsibilities seriously, and the people we serve are real to us. Being reliable is near and dear to our reputation. We use reliable to describe ourselves and the service we provide. We use the word in the industry. We use it personally. We use it all the time in politics. And if you've listened to the conversation at NREC over the last year, I'm sure you've heard about reliability. I've testified to Congress. I've taken reliability to the Secretary of Energy and to the White House. I've done interviews in the papers and on cable news. I've made reliability the centerpiece of our argument for an electric grid people can depend on to deliver the power they can afford. And when we talk about reliability, it gets people's attention. They realize they need to understand the problem we see. They start to listen. We're credible, and people know it's important we can do our job and keep the lights on. Reliability is powerful. And you and I have talked about reliability too, at your co-ops, at meetings where we catch up in the hallway between sessions. I've heard your concerns that the lights won't stay on when our system is stressed. Because if and when that happens, your members look to you for an explanation and a solution. It's not acceptable to say we didn't see this coming. When I look at how Washington is handling these situations, I don't see a pretty picture. Regulations with arbitrary timelines, technology mandates, a system increasingly out of balance. We have record electric peaks and growing electric demand, and we're prematurely shutting down power plants. We can't get permits to build new transmission. Bureaucrats want to breach our dams and tear out baseload hydropower. And gas plants designed for peak demand are now running more and more hours every year. And we know that means higher energy costs for everyone and less firm supply, less certainty that you can get electricity when your members need it. I just want to hit the pause button. Let's preserve baseload power. Let's understand the opportunities and the limitations of wind, solar, and storage. Let's appreciate the value of gas plants and nuclear power and hydroelectric dams. Let's build the transmission we're going to need. It takes time to get this right. In order to have a strong economy and growth and a better quality of life, we have to get it right. Look, it's a good thing we've got more uses and more demand for electricity today. It means moving toward cleaner sources of energy, and it brings new opportunities to electric co-ops who excel all the time when they get a chance to lead. But we have to have a plan grounded in reality. A plan we know will work, and we're not there yet. And that's putting reliability at risk. Last fall at the regional meetings, the people responsible for advising the US government on electric reliability told us that for the first time ever, one of the biggest threats to a reliable electric grid is bad public policy, bad legislation, poorly thought out regulation, faulty assumptions, mandates. A great example of this flawed thinking is the power plant regulation proposed by the EPA last year. I guarantee you they never thought about reliability. The EPA wants to shut down existing generation and mandate new technologies that simply aren't ready for prime time. But less electricity and less reliable electricity aren't the answer. I mean, what the EPA is asking us to do is to take a big step forward, but to do it in the dark. And this is not a time or a topic to rush. When we make these kinds of decisions, we need to know we're on solid ground. Things have gotten this way because the conversation about energy policy, the positions people are taking, the decisions people are making, they're disconnected from the consequences that they can cause. And we have to reconnect them. Our goal, my goal, has been to restore the point of view that reliability matters. It's job one. And reliability is no longer a given. The electric grid has diversified, incorporated dramatic amounts of new technology, and become flexible to a degree we never imagined when these systems were built. Today, we're talking about bending the grid, but not breaking it. Co-ops keep the lights on. Reliability is the most important thing to us. If legislators and regulators understand nothing more than that, then they will listen to us now when it matters. What's happening in Washington affects all of us. It affects, positively or negatively, the quality of life where we live and work, as well as the future of the places we call home. NRECA is here to influence that environment and to show leaders how public policy operates in the real world. Our goal is to create the trust necessary for honest and direct conversations. And co-ops back up those tough conversations by rolling up their sleeves and doing the work. Carbon capture and hydrogen fuel technologies aren't ready enough or cheap enough to be commercial scale environmental solutions. We've told the EPA not to mandate them in new rules on our industry. But we also support that argument with real-world experience. Co-ops are global industry leaders in testing and demonstrating those very technologies. We understand their place in our industry. It's not theoretical to us. We know what we're talking about. We're all in this together. We all work together. And when we engage, when we represent the authentic interests of all the communities that we serve. If you've never been to the legislative conference, come to Washington, D.C. and hike Capitol Hill with us and a couple of thousand of your peers from co-ops across the country. I'm here to tell you it's an awesome experience. And you'll never believe what a difference it makes the next time you see that same elected official back home. If you aren't active in the PAC for America's Electric Cooperatives, get signed up and get your pin at this meeting. Do it today. And join the largest group of grassroots advocates in American politics. Look at co-ops, vote for your co-op. 2024 is a great year to get engaged. And it's not just about registering more people in your county to vote. It's also about reaching out to elected officials so they understand how you and they are all about serving the same community. You know, NRECA has the very best reputation of anyone in Washington because we use this kind of engagement as the cornerstone of the relationships we build with leaders together. It's really about all of us, and we're the real deal. We look at the way things are and find ways to make them better. And by being active in politics, by knowing the importance of issues like reliability, we earn trust. And we use that trust to help remove the risk of bad policy and replace it with something we know will work. In this moment, I think there are plenty of reasons to be optimistic for the future. Leaders are listening to us. We've got the attention of people who trust us with the reliability of the grid and the future of our communities. We're investing in innovation. And when we get the opportunities to move the ball on broadband, on new technology, on storage, on demand response and energy efficiency, electric cooperatives step up and deliver. If you let us do our job, we will. But don't paint us or regulate us with one broad brush, because flexibility and local control are key to our success It's how we get the solutions your co-op needs when your members need it. And it's how we make progress, always moving forward. It's a simple test, but a good one for any policy coming out of Washington. We ask, if we do this, will the lights stay on? And if the answer is no, then do we really want to do it? Look, you get it. I get it. Reliability. You'd be surprised how many people don't or won't. We're the only ones with the political courage to ask this one tough question and answer it honestly. We're the only ones taking it to the Hill and the administration and the media. We're the only ones sticking up for the people who pay the bills, our members, our owners, who expect us to perform this simple but incredibly important job for them. We're the only ones. If we're not careful, it starts to feel a little lonely. But we're not lonely. We are leading. We're the leading voice on electric reliability because cooperatives are reliable, trustworthy, dependable. And when I look at all of you in this room, I don't feel lonely at all. Across the country, co-ops are showing there's a better path. There are answers. We serve the people in our communities by listening to them and finding the best solutions for them, solutions that work cooperatively. It's the best thing about who we are, what we do, and who we work for. Listen, I want to thank you all for being here, and I want to thank you for all you do to keep the lights on.